and welcome to Council Catch-Up here on WSTO TV. I'm your host, Derek Westby, and I'm here with Mayor Swadley to talk about the September 9th, 2025 City Council meeting. Welcome.
Morning.
So we had the call to order and the public comment period, and there were some presentations.
Yeah, we did have a couple presentations regarding two proposed ordinances. One would be for a central business district, which really entails the downtown, and then the other one for the arts district. That also is kind of the railroad corridor area, which we've been talking about for several years. Those will be back on October 14th for a first reading. And basically what the ordinances both do is just highlight what permitted uses would be versus uses that would not be permitted, but any businesses that are currently operated would be able to continue to operate as is unless that property discontinued business for a period of 12 months or more. And so if you had a business down there that you sold, as long as the new owner opened it up within 12 months with the same use, it would still be permitted as it is. The uses that are not permitted, it's a very small list, so most things would be permitted in both those areas. And then it also included some design guidelines from our landmarks ordinance as part of that as well, just to make it easier for those that are looking to do work on those properties.
All right, so then we'll move on to the old business portion. We had a second reading for a land suitability ordinance.
Yeah, this one is something that came from the Sustainability Committee, and we kind of call it a land division ordinance. And really what it does is on a new development, it really helps to identify sensitive areas that we want to preserve. So typically what we try to do as much as we can is save any of the trees that have, some quality to the trees, sensitive areas like ponds or wetlands, those types of things, and then incorporate that and integrate that into the development and make those features. And really the purpose of the ordinance is really to outline what the expectations would be. So if a developer came to us and said, hey, we're going to want to develop this piece of land, typically what we would do is we'd send them this ordinance as well as our park design guidelines, so they would understand kind of at the front end what the rules of engagement would be as they develop the land.
All right. The next item is Ordinance 29 of 2025, approving a GDP or General Development Plan for 1214 East Main Street.
Yeah, so 1214 East Main Street was the former Badger Car Wash. That property was purchased several months ago by Stoughton, and their plan is to basically take that property there and build some more duplexes there, so increase some more housing. They typically do senior housing in that area and make that part of the whole Stoughton area.
All right. Now we'll move on to the new business portion. We have Resolution 130 of 2025, a Macomb Road substation property proposal for a regulator station for Alliant Energy.
Yeah, so we were approached by Alliant Energy several months ago, and they had a need because of some highway improvements out there on Highway 51 and 138 to relocate a gas regulator. So they've been looking for a place to put that, and we had a couple different options. The first option, we're actually putting a Welcome to City of Stoughton sign in that location. The location that we agreed upon is behind a shed that's out there that houses some phone equipment. So they would put up their gas regulator behind that. That would be a fenced in area, and it's kind of right on the edge of the property line. So as we develop out there, that piece of property wouldn't be in play anyway. And then we negotiated the deal for them to purchase that land from us.
Okay. Ordinance 30 and 31 were both talked about as presentations. And those will be back in October for a first reading.
And the public can look for public hearing notices on those if they would choose to speak, but certainly if there's any questions about either one of them, just like anything else that's on the agenda, feel free to reach out to myself and I can engage with staff to try to answer your questions ahead of the meetings.
Okay. And then item number 11, request for a potential conflict of interest waiver.
Yeah, so oftentimes when we're working with engineers or accountants, or in this case, attorneys, the firms kind of work with cities, school districts, businesses, and there's a lot of crossover because there's not a lot of specialists in municipal government experience. And in this particular case, we've worked with Boardman Clark in the past on some of our labor issues, and they're representing the school district as we work toward the possibility of having the truancy court in the high school. So in order to move forward and have conversations and put together these agreements, we basically need a conflict waiver so everybody knows that, you know, they've done work for us. In this particular case, the work they've done isn't relevant to the project that they would be working on. So the council approved that last night.
All right, and then item number 12, Resolution 131 of 2025, hiring a new utilities director.
Yeah, so as you might recall, former Utilities Director Jill Weiss took a position in Sun Prairie, and we went through the process, and I'm pleased to say that Adam Schleichter from Sun Prairie has accepted the position. He was at the meeting last night. We had multiple interview teams and second interviews as well, and Adam stood out from the rest of the candidates. He's an engineer. He has some certification in wastewater, which will fit in really nice. We have to do some upgrades at our wastewater plant, so having that expertise is going to be great. And we're really excited for him to start, and that'll be in by the end of the month.
All right, well, welcome to the team, Adam. Resolution 132 of 2025 to amend the capital budget for some HVAC equipment.
Yeah, so at the Opera House, there's some IT equipment, and I'm looking at you because you're IT. There's a room there that needs to be temperature controlled. You probably know more about this than I do. And then we had some HVAC unit that was failing there, which I understand is not good for the equipment.
No, equipment needs to be kept nice and cool. So this will replace a failing mini split over in our IT room over at the Opera House, using some funds from the library project that didn't use it all.
Yep, library came in under budget, so we're able to do that without amending the budget. So that's always a good thing, and we expedited it quickly because it's something that we don't want to kick down the road.
Absolutely. Next item was Resolution 133 of 2025, talking about approving stormwater and trail easements.
Yeah, this is in relationship to the Continental property, which will be the Authentics Apartments, and that would be under construction soon behind Sand Hill School as part of the Stoughton Trailers or the STI development. And there's a pond out there that is part of the agreement that they'll be maintaining on behalf of the city, so they can count that toward their land dedication for green space. And then they're also going to add their own trail around the pond that's not required, and the city will maintain that trail as well as the other ones. So we think this is going to be a win-win as they work on that development. We're hoping they can start at least moving some dirt out there before the end of the year.
That would be awesome. Item number 15, Resolution 134 of 2025, a first amendment to an agreement to undertake development for Phase 2A for STI Holdings.
Yeah, so for STI, there was a delay on getting the plat submitted and approved by the Department of Administration. So we're basically just extending the deadline in order to get that plat approved, and then once that's approved, then we can continue to work on the next phase.
All right, and the last item on the agenda was Resolution 135, a real estate purchase and sale agreement with the Alexander Company for the Riverfront redevelopment area.
Yeah, so this one here, we talked quite a bit in open session, basically about the actual agreement. And also they have a tax incremental financing request in, so we heard from our financial consultants from Ellers. The city council went into closed session, deliberated, came back out, and made a motion to move ahead and approve the agreement.
All right, it'd be really great to see some development there.
Yeah, we're hoping sometime next year. They have to apply for a WEDA Section 42 tax credit, and they have to have assurances for WEDA that they have a funding mechanism in place, which is the tax incremental financing as well as the money they're bringing to the table. and the application period for the WIDA tax credit goes from September to October. So that's why this is on the agenda, so they can make those timelines.
All right.
We'll
So
find out in the spring, hopefully, that they'll be awarded and they can begin the work probably sometime after May.
that would be awesome. That's all we have for the September 9th, 2025 City Council meeting. We'll see you next time on Council Catch Up.